chats here in downtown Toronto with writer-director Igor Drljaca. How does it feel to have your feature film Krivina in the Toronto International Film Festival?
I think we're all really excited and kind of happy. A lot of the people working on the film are like Toronto natives, so it's sort of a great, chance to sort of showcase what we've been working on for the past two and a half years.
What did you do when you found out the film was accepted?
I didn't really believe it. No, I just started texting people.
Yeah.
Because I was actually at work. I was working, so I was just like, I couldn't call anyone. So it was just like a lot of text messaging.
What was the inspiration behind the making of the film?
The film tells a tale of an immigrant, Miro, who lives in present-day Toronto, sort of kind of wanderer, doesn't really stay in any city for too long. But he comes from sort of a complicated history from the former Yugoslavia, and he hears that one of his friends is implicated in war crimes, or war profiteering crimes, during the Bosnian Civil War in the 90s. And as a result, he kind of takes his journey back to Bosnia, and kind of discovers kind of who he is.
What was it like shooting footage both in Bosnia and in Toronto, and how did you edit that together?
The experience was, because this is a micro budget, like a really small budget film. That was actually done as a thesis work, or began as thesis work, and then sort of we kind of changed some stuff after school, and the difficulty was mostly like sort of just the inability to have everything you wanted because of the sort of financial strain. So what would happen in Bosnia, we would all get in a van, and it would be Roland, the director of photography, who I also went to school with, and my brother, who did the sound, the actor Goran, my girlfriend, who like helped us with catering and all sorts of stuff. So it was a really small, like tightly knit group. We just kind of like traversed the countryside, shooting the film. And then when we got here, it was sort of like almost like it was shot in sections, and a lot of it was sort of loosely structured. So there was a lot of I didn't want the script to be too rigid. I wanted like this fluidity to kind of permeate throughout the process. So what happened was I kind of let certain improvisational elements kind of take place. So a lot of the characterization was brought by the actors themselves. The other thing is I kind of withheld a lot of key information from Goran when we were actually filming the elements in Bosnia, the scenes in Bosnia.
Did you run into any dangerous situations while you were shooting the film at all?
No. I mean, the country, even though the political situation, the social situation is not great, there is no like immediate danger or anything like that. There is, I think once we got pulled over by police because we were sort of in the countryside, and it just kind of looked suspicious as to what we were filming exactly. So they just kind of asked us politely and left.
And what is it like working with Albert Shin, who you've collaborated with a few times since school?
Yeah. So Albert and I have gone to school since 2002 actually, and yeah. So I've known him for like I guess 10 years now. A lot of time flies. And yeah, so a lot of the Toronto stuff, he didn't come to Bosnia, but he took care of a lot of the Toronto shooting, sort of the prepping and kind of the post stuff, and he also helped edit the film. Yeah.
How do you expect audiences will respond to the film?
The film is sort of challenging in terms of its form, so I really hope people kind of embrace sort of some of the new kind of very interesting elements that we're playing with, and I hope it sort of allows other people to sort of express themselves in a sort of small micro budget way. You don't necessarily need I think one of the things that's happening in film throughout the world is that you don't necessarily need as much money as you used to, primarily because the technology is getting cheaper, and secondly because there's less money to be made in film anyway, right? So everything's getting smaller, and I think that to really have films that kind of have like a complete control, you kind of, unfortunately these days, you have to kind of minimize them, have less sort of heads breathing down your neck, so to speak. Yeah.
And what types of projects do you hope to develop in the future?
I already wrote a feature-length screenplay, which we're trying to get money for. This one's set actually in Sarajevo, post-war Sarajevo, about sort of the really kind of fragile sort of social fabric in that country and the collapse of morals, especially among the youth. So it's a tale about children of post-war Sarajevo, and the few other projects I'm trying to develop, like the treatment phase, are one is like a trilogy of science fiction-y films that are like all situated in Canada.
And where's the best place to find out more information on you and on your projects online?
So you can go to www.timelapsepictures.ca, and there's info about our company and some of the things we've been working on, things like that. One project I forgot to mention, which is actually kind of moving forward faster than some of the other ones, is another project with the second lead in the film, Yasmin Gayo. Like, I'm developing another sort of immigrant story situated in Toronto. So it's a story about kind of immigration and this sort of immigration looked at through the point of view of immigrants who didn't come here because they wanted to, but came here because they kind of had to, right? Because of circumstances that they encountered back home. So kind of like there's always a spin of immigration being, you know, kind of always positive, or immigrants wanting to be here, but there's a kind of a flip side to that coin.
And do you know your screening times offhand?
So the film plays at Jackman Hall. The first screening is at Jackman Hall at 9:15 on Sunday, so that's September the 9th. And the second screening is on the Tuesday, September 11th at 3 p.m. at the Lightbox.
Congratulations on having Krivina and Tiff and being back for the third time, and best of luck with all of your upcoming projects.
Thanks a lot. Thank you.
Thank you, Igor. I'm Katie Uhlmann reporting for Katie Chats here in downtown Toronto.